We're good? We're live. We are live and direct on this beautiful Thursday evening with my boy Ashton. This is the drop. All right, guys, we have an amazing drop for you this week. Thank you guys for tuning in, coming to hang out. I am with my good friend Ashton, aka QTR_46 on Instagram. Please give him a follow and comment on his last photo and tell him that he needs to post more on there because he doesn't really post a whole lot. So he needs a little bit of encouragement. If you would be so kind to do that, would really appreciate it. My name's Travis, Tackle Prez on Instagram. Make sure you give me a follow. And our store is at PTBO Pro Tackle on pretty much all social medias. Soon to be changed to our new name, which is Tackle Bros. It's more of a unique name for our unique type of store. So yeah, that's who we are. And what we're doing here is we're gonna drop some new product and I'm gonna come out of the gates with a bang. So earlier this week, we dropped an amazing video with Great Lakes Finesse. Thank you guys for checking that out. And thank you to Dan for, breaking down some of the stuff. I actually learned a lot from that, and it's a brand that I feel like I'm pretty familiar with, especially some of the stuff on that hover head that they have. There's a lot of really cool products and innovations coming in from Great Lakes Finesse, so make sure you guys keep your eye on that brand. One of the ones we're really proud to have in this store, so there's that. Speaking of things that we're proud of in the store, last week I dropped for you guys on a random Friday the new Dual Realis Spinbait 70. This is one that I've been very, very excited to get into the shop. I didn't really want to wait a whole week for you guys to start picking these up. It's one of my favorite techniques. We also dropped a video on Sunday doing a little bit more of a deep dive on some of the key features and differences from this 70 to the other sizes. So definitely check that one out. It was our Sunday video this week. Yeah, it was our Sunday video this week. So definitely check that one out. This is one you guys are gonna wanna have. Now with the release of the 70, I was able to talk with my friends at Dual Realis and get them to do something special for the shop. This is a color we did last year in the 80s that was wildly popular. I've had a million requests. In our store, we actually have a back in stock notification, and this is the #1 item currently on the back in stock, beating out some other pretty cool stuff that we had. I bring back to you in the new 70 size lights out. So this is our shop custom color that we do with Dual Realis. We've done, this is our second time now. It's an all matte black, beautiful looking Spinbait. It just kind of has that, it just has a bait fish profile. The best way I can explain this to you is if you are familiar with throwing marabou or fluff or a hair jig, anything like that, the second that the water kind of gets to it, it pins down. It looks very similar to this shape. Obviously the hair jig has a little bit of pulsing. This guy's got some blades. They all have their features, but that's kind of the premise behind this. Hair jig is a crazy effective way to catch smallmouth. This is a crazy effective way to catch smallmouth. Took the two, merged them together, superpower Spinbait 70. We should have called it superpower. That'd have been pretty badass. So this is gonna be a likely one-time go with this one. I've been trying to get them to do the 80 again. They like to kind of keep things as exclusive as possible, but we'll see where this guy goes. So this is gonna be available right now on the website. These are available in extremely limited quantities. Once they're gone, they're gone, as far as I know. Again, I will try to bring them back, but Japanese companies tend to have a very long out production schedule. So some of these things that we're getting now have been in schedule to be produced for a year, 2 years, whatever it may be. So there'll be some time in between if we get them back at all. But yeah, this is the Dual Realis Spinbait 70 in our shop custom color, lights out. That matte black looks sick in this, man. Very, very excited about this one. Excited for you guys to get your hands on them and actually catch some fish, because the last time that we released this color, if you guys are up here in the northern part of the country, we've been under ice pretty much since we had the last lights out drop, and now what did we drop in November? Yeah, man, it was cold then. Yeah, I was very sad to get them then, because it was something that I'd worked on for, I don't know, a little over a year, and we went to Japan and we looked at it and everything. Yeah, so these are available now. Tag me in the pictures on my Instagram. Tag the shop on Instagram with these. I'm excited to see what you guys catch on this color. I got a bunch in my box. I'm gonna put these to use here in a couple weeks when we get out in Lake Ontario. So excited about this one. Yeah. Also new this week from Dual Realis, staying in the kind of spinbait, Spinbait Spybait concept. we're gonna see a completely new bait in the category. This is another cool one from Duo. I've played around with it over the year. It catches fish for sure. This is gonna be more in the shallow range of things, so keep that in mind when buying it. It's only gonna go down to maybe a foot, foot and a half at most. It's going to be the new Duo Realis Spinbait 75 Heartbee. So that's Heartbee, not Heartbeat. I mean, with the placement of this blade, they could have just went straight Heartbeat, but they did not. This is gonna be a completely new spy baiting concept from Duo. Basically, you're gonna have this cupped open mouth in the front. It's gonna have water pass in through the open hole. It now has this blade on the bottom, which is gonna spin as the water is being pressed through the mouth. It's gonna create a really unique metallic kind of squeaky kind of metallic sound. It's also gonna have this elastomer tail on the back. You can separate this so it'll be kind of a curly tail. It's gonna come with a spare one in the box. As you can see in the video here, this thing has crazy amount of action in the tail, has a lot of drawing power. This is gonna be great for catching fish in shallower water. It's 6 grams, so just shy of 1/4 ounce. It's small, 75 mil. They make it in a ton of really cool colors, which we'll run through. This is another cool concept from Duo Realis. Like I keep saying to everybody, Duo seems to be really, kind of stepping it up this year. It's nice to see a brand that just continues to innovate. So another really awesome one from Duo. I'll run through the colors just so you guys know what they are. So this first one is gonna be Ghost Gold Perch. I mean, literally the number ones. We got stock on this guy maybe 3 weeks ago for the first time, and it instantaneously became the number one selling Duo Realis color for us almost overnight. I've had several restocks. It sells out every single time. I'm not sure we have any in the 80s left. We have some currently in the 70s, and we have some in this. So Ghost Gold Perch, phenomenal perch color. Maybe one of the best. Okay, we are also going to see LG Clown. So just a nice clown color there. We're gonna see Ghost Minnow. Duo has some of the most beautiful paint jobs in all of fishing. They do a lot of OEM painting for major companies that you guys buy stuff from already. So the guys that paint that Duo, they really understand putting patterns together and blending colors. One of the brands that I'm most blown away with by what they can do with some of the paints. So this one's gonna be Moss Shrimp. It's a cool one. We're gonna have Inako, a matte pink chartreuse. It's a loud one for you. You're gonna have Ghost Shart, Ghost Pearl, LG Wakasaki, Half Mirror Ayu, Ghost Gill, and finally HM Oikawa. So these are now available. Definitely check these out. New one from Duo. Okay, so another one new in for us from Duo Realis is going to be the Dead Drift 100. So this is a concept from Duo that is going to mimic kind of a dying bait fish taking their last breath. So this is a topwater bait. It has 5 segments, so it's going to kind of move around very naturally in the water. As you can see here, there's literally hooks all over this. I've stabbed myself 5 times. So if they even come up and try to sniff this guy, they're getting hooked. So if you guys have ever seen dying bait fish, they generally kind of, slowly make their way to the top, and they just kind of quiver up there as they're dying. Predatorial fish see a very easy meal. They come up, they smoke it, right off into the sunset. This is gonna mimic that very well, and with all of the hooks on this guy, if they think about eating this, they're gonna get hooked. It's going to be available in a bunch of really cool Duo Realis colors that we can run through here, but a really cool new type of topwater concept. Those 5 segments are going to have this thing, rolling around real nicely on the top. These are going to excel if you're fishing more current. The current is really going to push this body motion around to kind of giving it that dying bait fish profile. I'll spec this guy out for you really quickly. It's going to be 100 millimeters, so just shy of 4 inches. It's going to be about 12 grams, so just a little bit more than 3/8 ounce. It's going to have great casting distance. The hookup ratio on this is going to be in the 100th percentile. This has hooks hidden just about everywhere. Even the side fins. There's 2 single hooks here. You have this amazing hand-tied treble hook with a nice skirt on it, and then the tail is also hiding a treble hook in there. So again, if they sniff it, they're getting pegged. Really cool one from Duo Realis. I'll run through the colors really quickly. So the one that I've been holding up for you is going to be Greenback Chartreuse, a really nice loud one, draws them in. Next one's gonna be Erie IU. So really cool natural IU looking color there. All right, so this next color is going to be Silver and Gold, and I have it kind of taken half out of the package so I can show you this. It's basically a double bubble bait. You want silver? You got silver. You want gold? You got gold. We're gonna have Vanish Chartreuse, so a nice, you know, kind of matte clear color with some chartreuse hits on it. That's a really good one. Next one is going to be No IU, so just a nice natural IU looking color there. If you guys don't know what IU is, I actually seen a video of it a couple weeks ago. Blew my mind how realistic these guys are able to make some of these IU baits. It's actually a very aggressive small fish in Japan with very bright white lips. It looks like a cartoon character if you see it out of the water. They basically fish with these ultra long, you know, rods without a reel on it and just a million hooks with an IU style bait because the IU are very territorial. So when there's another one in the area, they tend to eat it very well. That's why a lot of the baits from Japan are IU colored. Anyway, if you want to see a cool fish, go look up the IU. Finally, we're gonna have Baby Salmon. I don't think I've ever seen the word salmon used in a Japanese fishing lore. Really cool color. So yeah, definitely check these out. New in from Duo Realis. Amazing, larger profile topwater bait. 4 inches isn't crazy. This thing doesn't look intimidating at all. So expanding on the Rozante lineup from Duo Realis, we've decided to bring in the 63 size. This is not a new product. This is just a new size we're bringing into the shop. They've been very, very popular, especially with trout anglers. So yeah, another new size in the Rozante. Couple key features on this guy. It's gonna have a magnetic weight transfer system. So with this only being 5 grams, it's fairly light. What that weight transfer system is gonna allow you to do, it's gonna allow you to cast that bait just a little bit further, and then on the retrieve, the weight's not gonna be banging around in there. It's gonna be locked into the front so you can bring it back. The Rozante have a pretty erratic action in the water. They're pretty easy to work. This guy in particular is going to be about a 1 to 2 foot diver, depending on your line and how far away you get it from the boat. So not very deep, but ultra effective, has a lot of drawing power. It comes in some really good bass colors, but it also comes in some amazing trout colors. I really like when they do this kind of digitally printed live one, so I'll highlight some of those. There's some great bass colors. There's also some great, you know, trout river colors. So this is going to be Yamame ND. It's a really cool one. Classic stuff here. This is, you know, gold perch. Really, really popular one. We got your Wakasagis. We got your, here's another Yamame. So this is going to be gold Yamame. Yamame is that pattern on the side that kind of looks a little bit trouty, like those long rounded off bars. So that's a really cool one. Anyways, available in a bunch of really cool colors. Check that out from Duo Realis. If you guys like me walking through the colors of every single thing, leave a comment and let me know that, because I don't want to overwhelm you guys with being like color, 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 color. I'm cool to do it if you guys want to see it. If not, I can just be kind of choosy on the ones that we go through all the colors. But like I said, if you want to see them, let me know in the comment section and we will be sure to include that for you guys. Just a quick restock note from River2Sea. We're gonna have a couple colors in the S-Waver 168 come back in stock. So, you know, we got some perches, we got powder, we got, you know, new bluegill. So these are a ultra popular, fairly affordable little glide bait. You don't need ultra specialized gear to throw this guy. Sub 2 ounce little glide bait. Very, very popular. If you're just getting into glide baits, this is a cool one to look at. Also from River2Sea, we've added a bunch of colors in the World Spoon 100. These are obviously sinking spoons. If you're a spoon fisherman, we got a couple different colors for you. Not something we do a ton up here, but something else from River2Sea. Okay, so an amazing lure coming in this week from Teckel. One I've been waiting a very long time on. It's going to be the Maxqueaker. So this is a 1/2 ounce buzzbait, Topwater. It's gonna have some pretty cool technology in it. This bait has actually been out before under another brand, and I'm very excited that Hideki has decided to bring it into the Teckel umbrella. So let's go over it. It's gonna have this brass nut design that you can see here in the blade. What is that gonna do? It's gonna be another contact point for this blade to, as it's spinning, help create that ultra squeaky sound that generally you only get when you have either used it for a very long time or had that blade spinning for a lot. A lot of guys will hold these out their car window. They'll stick it out the side of the boat on a rod as they're covering water, just mapping stuff out, just to work that blade in. With this, you don't need to do that. It works perfectly out of the package. Now, another problem that he's actually solved by going to this screw-on system with the nut, he's eliminated the rivet off the bottom end of the nut. So if you guys have ever fished buzzbaits, you'll notice that every single one has a rivet here which holds the blade in place. That does a couple of things. That obviously eliminates a point of contact for metal to metal, which creates ultra squeaky sounds, which you want in a buzzbait. But it also picks up grass, which is something you don't want in a buzzbait. He has eliminated that. That has made this one of the best buzzbaits for fishing in and around grass cover. So you can stick this back in some stuff that typically you wouldn't have been able to do with a buzzbait. This guy's gonna excel in that. It's also gonna have a clacker, so you can kind of bend this in a little bit to create some contact with that, if I can get it. So you can up the amount of clacking that you have on this depending on how much you want, just by bending it in or out. It's gonna have a bait keeper if you wanna add some plastic to the back of this. A lot of guys will throw toad baits on here, stuff like that to help it keep up with that flat body. But if you don't, it's actually been incorporated with a flatter body right here to keep it up in the water column a little bit. So an amazing bait from a guy who is very, very passionate about topwater. If you've ever checked out the Teckel lineup, Hideki is clearly a very passionate topwater angler. Check out his Instagram. He catches a ton of fish on topwater, all things topwater. He also happens to make some of the best topwater frogs, as well as probably the best walking bait on the market right now in the kick knocker. So I'll run through the colors with you pretty quickly. This one right here is white. He's kept it pretty simple for us, which I like. There's no need to have a bunch of crazy colors all the time. These are just straight fish catching colors. We're gonna see chartreuse white. This one's gonna have a gold blade, which is pretty cool. We're gonna have solid black. We're gonna have shad, we'll have black blue, and then a really fun bluegill color. So 6 colors available now. These are gonna be in limited quantities. They've been very hard to get. This was a pretty big special launch from Techco. The original design for this bait sells for hundreds of dollars on eBay, so definitely check these out from Teckel. Okay, so this week we have some exciting new stuff in from Nishine Lure Works. I'm gonna start right here with a new depth variation in the ultra popular Erie 95. This is going to be the medium diving. So this is going to be a true 6-7 foot diver. If you're not familiar with the Erie 95 millimeters, 11.2 grams, so just shy of 3/8 ounce. It's an incredibly easy to use suspending jerkbait. It's gonna have 2 ball bearings in there that are kind of free flowing. It's gonna make a lot of noise in the water, which is gonna help with drawing power. And they're available in some incredible paint jobs. This one that I'm holding is going to be blackback gold. If you look in very closely and you reflect it off the light, it's gonna have sort of a multicolored hologram type look, which a lot of these are gonna have. Nishine is a true master of, things that smallmouth are gonna like. Some of you guys will be familiar with the jerkbait colors from Nishine. Some of you won't, but there are some additions that are gonna come along with this that I hope kind of trickle into the rest of the lineup. BPB Smelt. This is actually the #1 selling color, I think, in all of the Erie series, which is pretty cool to see. Not one that I would have thought I would have thought this one. So this is gonna be Ghost Smelt. This might be the best ghost bait fish color made. We're gonna have Pearl Flash. This is a new color. It's a little bit of a crazy one. This is gonna be High Vis Chartreuse. So I actually seen an Instagram post where Hiroshi joked that fishermen don't like bananas, but the smallmouth don't seem to mind. So I thought that was pretty cool. This is a cool addition. Another new color is going to be a washy chrome. That's a really cool one. So kind of like a chrome with a blue back. One of the best perch of all time. This is one of the best perch patterns you can have in the entire line. If you're looking for something really close to like a yellow perch, Nishine makes a phenomenal yellow perch. We're gonna have gunmetal, badass color. We're gonna have hologram smelt. And finally, BPB chartreuse smelt. If you're new to jerkbait fishing, the Erie 95 is an incredible one to start on. You're gonna fall in love with jerkbaiting with something like this. It doesn't take, you know, a lot of work or a little work. It's just kind of however you fish it, you fish it. It's gonna give you great action, have great drawing power. One thing I will touch on, for me with jerkbaits, I tend to, if it has a snap, I will run it with a snap. That's my rule. So Nishine have snaps on them, I tie to the snap. If they don't, I don't tie to the snap. What the snap's gonna do is it's going to allow this bait to have a little bit more of a free flashing motion. So a really cool jerkbait from Nishine Lure Works. And those colors are really cool. I like that high vis one. Another new one from Nishine Lure Works is going to be the Smelt Head Plus. This is their first underspin bait. It's going to be available in large sizes right now. I think the focus here first was kind of, you know, that deep jigging technique, but if you can see the writing on the wall, I think we're gonna get some more smaller size stuff coming in. So these are gonna be available in 3 different sizes, 3 different colors. I'll go through those really quickly. The sizes are 3/4, 1, and 1.5 ounce. So the colors are gonna be pearl white, it's gonna be smelt, and then we're gonna have blueback herring. They're all on 4/0 hooks. The Nishine hooks are amazing hooks. A cool one to see from Nishine. Excited for the expansion on this lineup. Speaking on the Smelt head, it has become, and I think it's not gonna go anywhere, it's our #1 selling swim bait head in the store, hands down. I finally got a really good restock on everything. I think we're only missing one of the larger SKUs, so all of the Smelt heads are back. All you guys have been harassing me for 2/0, 2/7s. I got you, they're back in stock. Check these out. It's such an easy swim bait head to pair up with everything. A couple weeks ago, we released a video using a Smelt head showing you guys some of the benefits using that Ryugi insect keeper to keep your bait on. The Nishine one is really the best for that. It's kind of, it feels like they were just a pairing made to happen. It's also an amazing moping head. So if you guys are hanging a minnow, this is a really good head for that. If you guys are throwing a swim bait, really good head for that. So check these out from Nishine Lure Works, our #1 selling swim bait head. Another amazing selling thing from Nishine Lure Works, we finally have a good restock on the drop shot hooks from them. So I'm gonna have the number 2s are back in stock in a big way. This is kind of the key size. If you're not familiar with this, this is Nishine's take on a drop shot hook. You're basically gonna tie a snell. That's gonna help your hook stay completely 90 degrees. It's also gonna help with leverage when you're setting the hook. Amazing concept. I didn't really get it at first. I was kind of like, ah, man, I don't really want to tie a snell. You do it once, you're never gonna go back. This has quickly become a standard in most guys' boxes up here. We're also gonna see a big restock on the weedless version. And then in addition to that, we're gonna add the trailer keeper version. So same thing, snell, but this is gonna have a hand-tied trailer keeper on there. So when you thread your bait on, it's gonna help the plastic stay on the hook a little bit better. Really cool concept from Nishine Lure Works. Overall, we've restocked Nishine. I'm just highlighting a few things here. The football jigs, incredibly popular. Those are back in stock. And then last time we had a big restock from Nishine was when the new Namazu catfish colors came out. Finally have them all back in stock. So all the 4-inch and 5-inch Namazus are back in stock. You know, that new goby with gold flake in the 4-inch, the goby with purple flake in the 4-inch, and then the bone in the 4-inch are all back in stock. Same with the 5-inch. If you're not familiar with the Namazu catfish, it's basically a very dense plastic in the shape of a catfish. It imitates goby very well. Catfish, obviously. Anything on the bottom, we fish it a lot on a free rig. We fish it a lot kind of Jika style. It works on a drop shot. You can fish it on a ball head. Ultra versatile, ultra popular bait. Check that out from Nishine. And check out their whole lineup. Like I said, everything's back in stock from them today. This is a long one today. I think for the summertime, they're gonna end up progressively being longer and longer as my spending habits get out of control. But that's good for you guys. You guys, you know, we get new baits, we get new stuff in stock. It's pretty fun. I like doing this. Well, pizza parties on Thursday for me and Ash. Hang out, shoot a video for you guys, and then, yeah, go try to use the stuff on the weekend. So this is one of our favorite days of the week. We like hanging out with you. So moving over to Raid, we're gonna start off with a new size in the Raid Zariganist, the junior size. So this is going to be a 2.75 inch craw imitating bait. I'll take one out and I'll kind of compare it to the original Zariganist, which is, it's quite significant. This is probably going to be like, bam. Can you see that? Quite a difference. So this size is really going to be key for, you know, free rigging. I would say would be a good one. If you want to drag this on bottom, it's going to be fine. You can just kind of, you know, run a EWG style hook in there, or you can run it on a ball head. This is going to be more of a palatable size, let's say, for most people. So the Zariganist is a amazing lifelike craw imitator. Now, usually for me, I don't get too, you know, hyped up or freaked out about lifelike craw imitators. Sometimes too much realism kind of takes away from it. But this one's a really great one. It's fairly natural. The appendages move a lot of water, which has good drawing power. It also has these hollow claws in it. The head's also hollow as well, which is going to kind of help it stand up in a defensive posture. It's going to be great to Texas rig and throw on a free rig. If you want to just straight up Texas rig and flip it around, you can do that as well. It's going to work as a jig trailer. So it's pretty versatile. It's going to be available in the same 7 colors as the original Zariganist that we've already went over, so I'm not going to bore you guys with that again, but definitely check this one out. A much more palatable size. This is going to apply pretty much everywhere. The other Zariganist is it's substantial. So if you've been wanting to try this out and maybe were intimidated by the size of the full size, the 2.75 should be no problem for you. You have craw in your waters this size, that's 100%. Also, another thing to keep in mind, generally with craw baits, the bass seem to be more attractive to the smaller ones. Their shell is generally a bit softer, so it's a little bit of an easier meal for them to swallow. Something we talked about recently as well in another video, but yeah, a really cool one from Raid, the Zariganist Junior 2.75. It's going to come 4 to a pack, so keep that in mind. Another cool thing I actually want to point out in the Raid product before I move over to the next thing is they all have in the little corner here hook recommendations. So if you're ever stuck on what hook you should use, Raid kind of gives you a little hint there. Keeping with Raid, we're going to see a huge restock in their entire rod lineup in the Gladiator Anti and the Gladiator Maximum. So the Gladiator Anti is going to be their, you know, middle tier rod. They come in a ton of amazing powers. The one I'm holding here is going to be the Fixer. This is probably the most asked about one in the Anti lineup. If you're looking for a mid-strolling rod, this has kind of become the one for throwing, you know, those 3 or 4 inch little fish rollers. So definitely check these guys out. I'm also going to have a restock on the Undertaker in the Anti. I'm going to have a restock on the BF Tricker. And I'm going to have a restock on the Frogman. So all those are back in stock. And then moving over to the Gladiator Maximum, we're going to see a restock in the Max Fixer. So if you're not familiar with the Gladiator Maximum, this is their top tier, best of the best rod. These are going to be full cork handles. So you can see here the styling on these is amazing. Raid makes a great rod, and something to keep in mind for you guys that are maybe a little bit nervous to get into the solid tip. Raid is actually designed as a bank fishing brand. So when they were developing the rods, they obviously kept this in mind. And you'll notice with a lot of the Raid rods with the solid tip or stinger tip, it actually goes deeper into the blank, which is going to help prevent breakage. If you've ever used a solid tip or a stinger tip, you know that 99% of the time, if the rod's going to go, it's going to go right at that fusion point. With the Raid, they've brought it like I said, longer into the blank, so it's gonna have a little bit more protection. And that's just the residuals of being a really cool bank fishing brand. So that first one that I had there is the Max Fixer. I'm also gonna have a restock in the Max LT. So that's gonna be their 6.5 medium light casting solid tip. I'm also gonna have a restock in the Baltoro Heat number 2. Gonna have the Bishop. And then the last one in the maximum lineup is going to be the Max Queen. So this is gonna be that 6.4 light solid tip rod. So for those, 4 or 5 inch mid-strolling stuff, this is gonna be the real key one. All of the rods are back in stock from Raid in the maximum and the anti lineups. Very happy to see them. If you're looking for a great mid-strolling rod, look at the Fixer and the Max Queen. Those are kind of the key ones. The Frogman's back in stock. That's been a very popular one for us. So definitely check these out from Raid Japan. And we got some videos coming to kind of break these down a little bit further for you guys. Okay, so this week we're gonna have a massive restock in Megabass jerkbaits in specific, with more stuff to follow. We're gonna start with the Ito Vision 110 plus 2 in all colors. So every Vision 110 plus 2 is now back in stock. All of the 110s are back in stock, every color in the plus 1. So all the popular stuff, your GP Pro Perches, your Northern Secrets, everything's back. And then regular Vision 110, all the core colors are back in stock, including the new core colors, such as like Gilco is back in stock. So this is a funny story. So, maybe 8-10 years ago, I was on Instagram, and this is before we ever had the shop. I seen Megabass post a picture of Gilco, which was originally only available in the high float. And I went down this crazy rabbit hole of trying to find a Vision 110 in Gilco, only to end up messaging Megabass on Instagram or commenting on their photo, asking if it was in a 110, and then I found out it was high float, and I was very sad. 8-10 years later down the road, I got Gilco in a 110. I was a very happy guy. So definitely check this color out. If you guys fish anywhere where there's like panfish or like bluegill, stuff like that, Gilco, lights out color. One of my favorite colors up here is actually going to be Megabass Kanata. This is going to be a gold-sided orange belly. One thing I always say to people when they come in is Kawartha gold. In the Kawarthas, we have a lot of walleye, stuff like that. Gold seems to be a very key color. So if you're in the Kawarthas like we are, check out Kanata. It's been a fish catcher for me for a very long time. And then moving over to the juniors in the plus 1, I have every color back in stock, as well as some JDM colors. We have a GLX Tonekin right here, so a bunch of other core colors are all back in stock. Everything plus 1 junior. I also am gonna have every color in the regular junior is gonna be back in stock. So this is probably the biggest jerkbait restock we've ever had. And there's some stuff we haven't had in a while. One I want to touch on actually is going to be the 110 FX. So if you're not familiar with this guy, this is a Vision 110. It comes in a weird package, and it comes in some cool colors like this one, which is pumpkin seed. This is a misunderstood bait. Everyone thinks that it has this collapsing lip here, which kind of looks a little bit weird and intimidates people. All that lip is designed to do is to help you cast further. The second this thing is in the water, that lip engages, it stays down, it has perfect 110 action. It's just gonna cast a lot further with the lip put in like that. So this is one to check out, and it's the only one available in this pumpkin seed color. So a really cool one from Megabass there. And then I'm also gonna have a massive restock on 110 Silence. You guys that know about this know if you're not throwing a silent jerkbait when everyone else is throwing a crazy rattle one, you're missing out on a couple bites. A really good one to have. All colors in the silent are back in stock. They have SBOB Shad in this. That's all I need to say. Staying with jerkbaits, we're going to look at the ITO Shiner. So this is going to be that, slightly upsized 115 mil. This is going to have that longer darting action. So when you snap it, it's going to be a little bit wider of a glide. It's a really cool, unique look when everyone else is throwing 110s around you. And let's not kid ourselves. Everyone is throwing 110s around you. So definitely check out the ITO Shiner. They actually just came out with a bunch of amazing colors. Northern Secret is now available in this. I mean, this is a really cool one that's only available in ITO Shiner. This is GBS. This is just a really cool, like Kinkuru gill looking color. So definitely check out the ITO Shiner. And then last but not least, the biggest offering in the Megabass lineup. We're gonna see a full restock for the first time in I don't even know how long in the Megabass Kanata. So this is gonna be a true, 2 meter, so 6-7 foot diving jerkbait. It's gonna be 160 millimeters. It's gonna be a full 1 ounce and 1/8. So this is a bigger jerkbait. Something I'll suggest to you guys that if you're jerkbaiting, if you're looking for the biggest fish in the lake, generally for them, it's gonna cost them a lot less energy and inertia to go after a bigger bait. It makes more sense. They don't have to eat as many times during a day. Now, everybody who's watching, you guys have caught them on a Vision 110. That's just the facts, and you've caught giants. But if you're in a tournament situation and your partner is already throwing a 110, he's gonna catch the fish. That's not a doubt. He's gonna catch big fish, he's gonna catch small fish, he's gonna catch medium ones. But if you really need to hone in on a giant, sometimes by upsizing the bait, that fish that is like, yeah, that 110 looks good, but I'm gonna wait for something a little bit bigger to come by, break it up. He throws a 110, he gets the bites. It's gonna suck to watch him. You gotta be a net man for a little bit. Be a champion for your partner. You know what I mean? Get the pom-poms out. But throw a Kanata or something a little bit bigger. Throw a mag draft, throw a Kanata, just something a little bit upsized that for that fish that doesn't feel like moving for a jerkbait, a regular size jerkbait, or a little 4.8-inch K-Tech, having an upsized option for them to move on is going to be hugely beneficial. It's something we do all the time. Generally, the guy throwing the other one ends up with a big fish, and you might only catch one, but that one fish is going to make a huge difference to your day. If you're a bank fishing guy and you want to catch numbers, you throw a 110. You're going to catch fish. That's just the facts. But if you want to try to just upsize a slight bit, throw a Kanata. It's going to make a huge difference. Throw a mag draft. It's going to make a huge difference. Catching just a little bit bigger fish, your numbers are going to go down. Those are the facts. Little fish aren't going to eat bigger baits, and that's actually not true. We've seen it. We've caught 1-pounders on 6-inch mag drafts. But if you have an opportunity to at least carry one with you and throw it situationally, I promise you will end up catching bigger fish more often. You might catch less fish, but the quality and size of the fish is going to go up always when you upsize your bait. That's just rule of thumb. Yeah, you know what? A 6-pounder is going to eat a little 2.75 bait as well, but it will generally move a little bit easier for something that's like 160 mil. That's a substantial meal for the bigger fish. So something to keep in mind when you are picking your jerkbait sizes. Include everything. And if the Kanata's a little bit too big, that ITO Shiner is just a little bit bigger of a profile. It's a taller profile as well as like a fatter profile. Sometimes that's all you need to do. So something to consider. Okay, so staying with the Megabass restocks. If you're a Hazedong guy, I have some restocks in Hazedong for you in the 3-inch and the 4.2, but I also have some terrible news for you. Hazedong's going to become incredibly hard to get this year. They have stocked out on several colors already, including green pumpkin shad, and it's looking like they're not going to come back in stock till October. So if you're looking for Hazedongs, now's the time to probably grab them. I've stocked up on the colors that we have as much as I possibly can. If you're in the areas of where they work, you need them. So definitely check that out. And then in Spark Shads, we're going to see a full restock in all the 3-inch sizes, including albino, all the 4-inch sizes, including albino, and all of the other sizes and colors. Well, you just handed me 2 albinos.
You said 2 albinos.
I just said hand me 2, 3, and 4, bro.
There you go, man.
Damn, bro. All the Spark Shads are back in stock from Megabass. So I think that's going to do it for today. We're going to keep plugging away at restocking and bringing in new products for you guys. Check out that lights out color, which I forgot that we dropped in this video because it's been so long. If you like these longer form videos, let me know in the comments. We don't mind doing them. The last video we did was a little bit longer form. You guys seem to like it, and this one is definitely long form. So that's something that we can do. Also, if you have any questions about any of the products, feel free to reach out to myself, Ashton, Chris as well. We'll put everybody's links in the bio for their Instagrams. Everybody's very knowledgeable on the stuff. We're kind of nerds for this type of stuff. It's fun. If you see any of the lures here that maybe is something you've been wanting to try and you're just not sure about rod and reel setup, we can answer all those questions for you. Also, you can leave a comment in the comment section on this video and I will try to get to them as soon as possible. But the best way to really reach us is by our Instagram handles. We generally answer within a day or two at the least. Please follow all of the social medias and please subscribe to the channel. Over 50% of you are not subscribed currently, and I don't like that. I think it should be 100% subscription rate. So thanks for hanging out with us on this Thursday. I will see you guys on Sunday with another cool video, and I'm just gonna keep this ball rolling. Take care.